Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gary gzduels, and yes, I am back, and my voice is still kind of shaky. Sometimes I still have to cough, but it's okay. Hopefully it sounds kind of normal, so I'm gonna get through this deck profile without damaging your ears too much. So I'm here to show you guys this Chaos Ninja deck profile. I'm more inclined to call it like Dragon Ninjas now, because it is awesome. You know, you get to go into not only like the dragons in your main deck, but you can like synchro into things like Trident Dragon, and it's just like my ace in the hole, and it's pretty awesome. So of course I'm gonna get into the monsters. Right here we have BLS Chaos Sorcerer, 2 Debris Dragon, 2 Effect Veiler, 1 Honest, 1 Light Pulsar Dragon, 1 Grand Mole, Neospatian Grand Mole. I'll talk about why and why I like this card. So I'm gonna put it right here. 2 Grandmaster, 3 Grandmaster Hanzo, because I was like 2, no, it's important. Only 2 Photon Thrashers, and 3 Upstart Golden Ninja. For the spells, we have 1 Book of Moon, 1 Dark Hole, 3 Mystical Space Typhoon main deck, 3 Pot of Duality, and 1 Reinforcement of the Army. For the traps, we have 1 Bottomless, 1 Compulse, 2 Dimensional Prison, 2 Fiendish Chain, 2 Mirror Force, 3 Super Transformation, 1 Tecton Scrap Iron Scarecrow. I'll talk about why, 1 Solemn Warning, and 1 Torrential Tribute. For the extra deck, we have 1 Black Rose Dragon, Trident Dragon, Abyss Dweller, very standard, Blade Armor Ninja, Omega, Ptolemy's M7, Dire Wolf, Cowboy, Pearl, Excalibur, Lavalval Chain, sorry, Maestroke, Black Ship of Corn, Paladynamo, and the Violanda, excuse me, Violanda Sigma. In the side deck, we have 2 Maxi, 2 Creature Swap. It's pretty awesome. I'll talk about why. 2 Forbidden Chalice. I'll talk about why. 3 Night Beam, 2 Mirror on Wall. I'll talk about how this works with the Chaos Engine and how it doesn't necessarily conflict. Also 2 Mind Drain. I'll talk about how you side these things in, and also 2 Vanity's Emptiness. Okay. A lot of things to talk about, and I'm coughing a lot already, so I apologize. So the first 2 things I want to talk about in the main deck are the Neospatian Grand Mole and the Scrap Iron Scarecrow. These 2 cards have a lot of synergy. In fact, like, you can summon Neospatian Grand Mole, and then you can like poke one of their problematic monsters back into the extra deck. So, you know, Draco Sack, Zem mains, anything that tanks, anything you can't attack over. And then when they attack you, flip up Scrap Iron Scarecrow, nothing really happens. Or you can throw down something like Photon Thrasher, special summon Photon Thrasher, normal summon out your Neospatian Grand Mole. Neospatian Grand Mole pokes first, and then returns itself to the hand, and then your Photon Thrasher can attack, and it'll be direct damage 2100, and you'll be supporting this Photon Thrasher with like a lot of awesome back row. So it's gonna be alright. Scrap Iron Scarecrow has also that really cool advantage because some of your monsters are pretty small. Like, you know, Grandmaster Hanzo is pretty small. You know, like these Upstart Golden Ninjas are pretty small. So what tends to happen is if your opponent has something like Yamato plus Tenki or something like that, trying to bully you just because they have like 100 attack more than you, you can just basically stop that, and it allows you to calculate, it allows you to take one of their big monsters out of the picture when you're calculating your overall strategy, and it's just very dependable. People tend to burn MSTs on it as well, so you know, it saves out your ninjutsu art of super transformation. So that's why I played these 2 cards. It's pretty awesome. You know, you can tank with something like BLS, you can tank with something like Light Pulsar, and just poke them with Neospatian Grand Mole. It works out very well. Also in the extra deck, I want to talk about a couple of cards here. The Creature Swap. It is pretty nice because sometimes you just have like an extra Veiler in your hand. You just be like, oh, summon Veiler, swap, let me have your Draco Sack, it's pretty awesome. Let me have your Big Eye, I'll steal back, whatever. You know, it's just really good problem solver. It makes your opponent think twice. It's also something that's very unexpected. So your opponent might be thinking, oh, he's playing Chaos Ninjas, there's no way of him stealing my monsters. I'm going to put on my my own BLS, or I'm going to put on my own big monster, and you know, I just take it away from him. So it's pretty awesome. I play Forbidden Chalice because I also play Mind Drain. So when I play Mind Drain, I have to substitute out these hand traps right here. I have to sub out the 2 Effect Veiler and the Honest. So in exchange, I'm going to put in Forbidden Chalice to help with the effect negation. And also these Mind Drains will serve to like lock out dragons, lock out prophecy, lock out a lot of stuff. So, you know, Mind Drain is definitely very important. That's why I'm inclined to sacrifice these hand traps in order to put these things in, mermails, everything. You can lock down a whole lot of stuff. Okay. Night Beams. I put 3 Night Beams because a lot of decks, they see that I'm trap heavy, so they'll play things like Royal Decree. So you definitely want to get rid of the back rows when they set them. You have 3 MSTs, but you really want the Night Beams in order for them not to lock down your cool trap cards that really carry you throughout the game. 2 Imperial Iron Wall. So some of you may be thinking, well, you play a lot of Chaos Monsters. Like you play 3 Chaos Monsters. Your Imperial Iron Wall really blocks you, but not necessarily. As you can see, I only play 2 Chaos Monsters with Graveyard Manipulation. So it's really not very serious if I just sub in the Chaos Sorcerer and the Blackluster Soldier for these 2 Imperial Iron Wall. The way I think about it is, if I sub in Imperial Iron Wall, I can lock down an entire deck of dragons. They can't banish anything. Whereas if I draw into a BLS, a Chaos Sorcerer, it might, carry me through one of the battle phases. That's it for 1 turn. But, Imperial Iron Wall has that overall lockdown. So it's more worth it to trade Imperial Iron Wall for these 2 flashy Chaos Monsters. For Light Pulsar Dragon, you most likely want to transform into it. Excuse me. Oh my god. Excuse me. So you most likely want to transform into your Light Pulsar. So you can keep this guy in, and it's really still works well with your super transformation. So that's how you side in the Imperial Iron Walls. Also, the Vanity's Emptiness is a good change in this deck as well, because sometimes if you see what you have of your traps, you have a Scrap Iron Scarecrow that doesn't go into the graveyard. You have like super transformations that are continuous. You have Fiendish Chains that are continuous. You also have like Mind Drain that is continuous, Imperial Iron Wall that is continuous. So once you set up a field with a lot of lockdown cards, like against dragons, you have something like Imperial Iron Wall plus Vanity's Emptiness plus Scrap Iron Scarecrow. Like it's going to be a tough time for them to get out of it. So as long as you have a monster on the field to tank, if you have something like Grandmaster Hanzo just poking for damage, or whatever, you have an Exceed monster you're depending on, it's just going to be a good time. So Vanity's Emptiness definitely works well with this deck because you have a lot of continuous traps that doesn't necessarily go into the graveyard, but also does a lot against the opponent. Okay. I guess a couple of things I want to talk about the extra deck. The Black Rose Dragon is just very situational. It's good to have it when you need it, but I don't necessarily go into it a lot. But the Trident Dragon, on the other hand, a lot of you may be wondering how consistent is Trident Dragon. Is actually really, really good. It makes like very awkward hands very, very beast. So if you, for example, you have like a Debris Dragon in your hand, you have a Ninjutsu Art of Transformation set, and somehow you had from previous turns a Upstart Gold Ninja in the graveyard, you can normal summon Debris Dragon, pull back the Upstart Gold Ninja, right away transform with what your opponent has, go into Trident Dragon, use Trident Dragon, blow up the super transformation, and you can attack at least twice. So it's pretty good. It's 1 monster removal and you can attack twice. That's 6,000 damage. It's pretty awesome. Trident Dragon also works, you can transform into either of these 2 parts. So if you already have a Light Pulsar Dragon, you can transform with your opponent's monster into Debris Dragon. If you have Debris Dragon, you can transform into Light Pulsar Dragon. So the overall ability to get out these pieces are very easy. You can get transformation by drawing it. You have 3, and you can also search it out with Grandmaster Hanzo. It's just very, very easy to get out. So this is my new ace in the hole. I suggest you guys try it. It's really, really good with this deck. The rest of the XYZ monsters are really just good rank 4s. With the exception of Ptolemy's M7, you basically exclusively use this card on top of the Constellar Omega, and sometimes when you're facing Constellars, if you swap one of their monsters, it's okay too. You can transform on them too, but it's alright. Most likely you're going to transform onto Omega once he runs out of XYZ materials. Okay, so that's all I really wanted to say about this deck. If you guys have any questions, if you have any suggestions, feel free to drop in the comment section down below. Once again, I'm sorry that I've been sick and I haven't been really talking to you guys, but you can always contact me through my social media. I have Skype, I have Facebook, and if you want to reach me there, you can totally reach me there. Other than that, this is Gary gzduel signing out.